So it is a few minutes after 5. I'm going to call the February 11th meeting of the Plymouth Village Water and Sewer District to order. Let's start with the Pledge of Allegiance.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America.
Let us begin, please, with a motion for approving meeting minutes from January 14.
I'll make that motion.
Second.
All those in favor there?
Aye.
Aye. Okay, payroll and AP manifests, we've been catching up on the, we gotta catch up on those. But do I have a motion there?
So moved.
Second.
All those in favor on approving payroll manifests?
Aye.
Aye. Okay. We've got lots of new business in front of us this evening. This is all grant money and applications, so we're going to roll through these one by one. Let you all work on the signatures. I'm going to sign all of these afterwards because it requires a lot of initialing. So we need a motion here for a certificate of vote. So the motion needs to be that we are accepting the
grant.
the Highland Street grant, and that.
Regina, can you let that person in?
I just clicked on it.
Oh, okay, good.
Never mind. Yep, that's okay, so you don't know.
So the motion needs to be that Tom, you will be signing this and authorizing me to execute all documents related to this.
I'll make that motion.
Second.
All those in favor here?
Aye.
So this is the Drinking Water and Groundwater Bureau.
For Highland Street.
For Highland Street. I
Money
was looking for it.
Highland, yep.
Yeah. Very good. So that's the first one. So then number 2, same drill. The motion needs to be that we're motioning to Tom to sign and in turn authorizing me to execute all documents. This is for the strategic planning. Motion here.
Make that motion.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Okay, so on to number 3. Certificate of vote.
It's actually 5, because it's
Yes.
certificate
Okay.
and grant, certificate and grant.
Okay, yeah.
So you're on 5.
Okay. So, yeah. So this is a certificate of vote for the asset management amendment,
Oh, I see, okay.
giving us more time?
Additional time.
Yeah, to,
Because we're waiting on a climate change and vulnerability assessment that's being conducted by a third-party engineer. So in order to incorporate that into our asset management plan, we need more time.
I see.
And they indicate that they won't have that report to us before the end of the year.
Okay.
I'd make a motion for that.
Second.
Aye.
So that motion is also, again, authorizing Tom to sign the document and then authorizing me to sign all future documents. Okay, on to
Number 7.
okay, number 7, special project assistance supplemental form. So this is a motion here just to authorize me to sign
To
this.
move forward with
Aye.
applying.
Yes.
I move to have you sign for the special project supplemental form.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Very good.
That's we have drafted the application for the shortfall for Highland Street Reservoir and Emerson Street to go to the Drinking Water and Groundwater Trust Fund. So that's ready to go as soon as we
Doing that help.
have it approved now.
Yep.
Yeah?
That will happen right now. Since this one just requires a signature. 225. I'll leave that one there. I'll get to those later.
Okay.
So, old business, any old business?
Just updates on the projects. our Holderness Well project, all of the piping has been completed by DeFelice. We're moving into the above ground work, the electrical phase. The electrical building's supposed to drop here probably within the next 2 weeks, and then we can finish up the electrical connections from the wells up to the electrical building, and then all of the chemical feed build out at Foster Street too, to be able to tie into the new line coming across the river. So we're on the second half of the project, essentially, funding wise. The project is about halfway expended, but we are about 80% expended in regards to time. So we have about 3 months left until substantial completion, and the contractor is aware of that they need to meet that deadline for us in May. And so there's going to be a lot of work over the next 3 months to wrap this up and pull everything together so that we are operational essentially the end of May, June timeframe.
Are there subcontractors involved in this?
Yes,
Okay,
yep.
so, and is that building over there, that's still not in place?
Right, so that's what's coming soon, is a precast building to house the electrical gear.
Right.
Yep.
So that will need to be in place in order to do the remainder of the electrical.
Exactly, yeah.
Right, so we have to
So
hold
The
that-
that.
hold up right there.
Yeah.
So that's the Holderness Well project. Force main number 4, we are working towards 100% design on that, and probably going out to bid within the next month. We have issued a request for proposal for tree cutting along the easement, and we are reviewing the proposals for that, and we'll be awarding before the end of this week the tree cutting, so that can get done within the next couple of weeks as well. The Highland Street, Emerson Street, and Reservoir Road project, we are 90% design on that as well, so moving towards 100. We are requesting the additional funding to the trust fund, and we are fine tuning the final scope and cost estimate for that as well. So hopefully we can get that out and get bids in, probably just after annual meeting.
Yeah,
So-
that would be great, yeah.
Yeah, that's
We
going
don't
to be good.
we don't have any time to waste on.
Nope. And then we, just something in the operations report, we have 2 vacant positions, an operator position and a lab tech position at our facility. The ads have been posted for a couple of weeks now, and looking for 2 fine candidates to fill those positions as soon as we can.
Did you have an app from when somebody came in?
We do, we
We
have.
have one for each position
Yep,
right now.
one for each position right now.
That's great.
So we're gonna give it a little bit more time, and then we're gonna make a decision.
Mhm.
Great.
Well, that's good, I'm glad to hear that. There's some interest, it's
Yep.
hard to fill positions sometimes.
That's great.
Anything else, Tricia?
I think that's it.
Okay. So, business administrator,
Just have the abatement request.
right,
Although the customer completely understands that it's a smaller abatement and it could jeopardize their rights in the future to ask for a larger abatement. But she's put it in because if the board feels that a denial is warranted, she may have other avenues she could pursue.
So it sounds like she had the water heater burst in her basement while she was away
She did,
and
the fire department pumped it out.
pumped it out, so
Yeah.
it didn't go through sewer.
Yep.
And so because of that, she's asking for an abatement for that.
Yep.
They had to pump it out so it like ran for a weekend or so, huh?
Yeah.
But actually, it was a very small, I mean, at most she could add, it's a $400 sewer bill.
Right.
And we also take an administrative fee out of that, so she'd end up about $300. So she totally understands that this may not be her best way to pursue it. And I don't recommend it. She's shutting herself out from a larger one, should she have a huge leak in the future.
So people are only allowed to do an abatement once?
yeah,
Ever?
that is
In the lifetime
a
of the
strict
property.
policy.
It's a lifetime.
What is it, you only get one in a house?
Yeah.
One for a lifetime
Of
of
the
the
property.
property.
Right,
Okay,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah. So we're looking basically probably for a denial so that she can move forward with pursuing other things if she can.
Oh, I see. So that would be preferred.
That's what
That'll be the
I'm thinking.
recommendation, yeah.
Yeah, I guess she understands that holding out and keeping that option of in the
Could be
future
much
could
more
be
advantageous
could be
to her.
of greater value
Yeah.
to her
Yeah.
than receiving an abatement now.
Then why file it? If she,
Because she can't move forward with other avenues if she's not denied.
if she's not denied. Okay. So I make a motion to deny that abatement request.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
And who would you like to, we all have to sign that.
Yeah.
Please.
Yeah, it's worth mentioning that if you go out of town in the winter,
Yeah,
you can shut that
stuff off.
supply valve off at your house.
Although we've cautioned that sometimes that
Yeah.
doesn't always work, right?
Right.
That valve could freeze, that valve could fail,
Sometimes just the opposite, you gotta make it drip a little bit to keep.
right?
Yeah, right.
Yeah,
Freeze it.
yeah,
Yeah.
so, yeah,
It is risky.
yeah.
Winter is just risky.
It is.
But that's the important piece of keeping up your plumbing in your homes and businesses to make sure that things are up to snuff and you don't run into issues with not having being able to shut off water even. So that's some of our biggest hurdles that we run into is folks get a break in their line and then they can't shut it off in the home or at the meter because their valves don't work.
Wow.
So,
Quite common, unfortunately.
Now,
Yeah.
our systems are electronic now, right? Right?
Our meter readings,
Meter
our
readings?
meters,
Is there any
Most.
kind of like a way, like an alarm, like nothing's detecting it or watching it? There's
No.
No. I wonder if
not
that
in
would be-
real time. So we
Right.
can go back over 90 days and look at
check
it.
it after the fact.
I
Right.
see. I
And
just kind of wonder, like, if the technology will go there in the future.
Oh, it will.
You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like,
Yeah.
that would be really useful, because then, you know, if we got an alert on something like that, we could call customers and be like, hey, you're using a lot of water.
Yeah.
Are you having a pool party this weekend? Or are you,
No,
are you
What do you mean,
not?
we get a readout that can print out days?
Yep,
Yeah.
If you have a certain type of meter, which is what we're transferring over to, many of them now are, but
Yeah.
not all.
I
We're
just
working
wondered if in
towards
real
all.
time, they could monitor that, and they'd be
Yeah,
cool in the future.
yeah, there is some
Yeah.
technology now that we've recommended to some landlords to be able to monitor usage within their buildings.
That's smart.
So there is that option now, we just don't have it system-wide.
System-wide.
It would
Is
be
it
on the individual to pursue that.
Is it cost prohibitive, is that?
Currently, yes.
Currently,
Yeah,
it's expensive.
yep,
Yeah,
so,
maybe not, I wonder if we could like somehow do it and then get a discount with insurance rates, because we have something like that, you know?
Yep.
possible, yeah.
Yeah,
Yep.
But yeah, we are working with our meter vendor, and they have the ability to pilot systems like that.
Yeah.
So that we can see the benefits. Some nearby systems I know have went that route with, it's essentially automatic meter reading, they call it. And it's
Yeah.
a centralized location where all the reads come in instantaneously. So it just depends a lot on the topography of the town and
yeah.
how many units you have to deploy to be able to do that, so.
And I imagine with AI coming for things, that might be something
Yeah.
Yep.
down the road, probably not as far off as we think,
Mhm.
right? That they might
Sure.
be able to have something like that, be monitored in real time by a computer,
Yep.
right?
Our new software we got last year actually reads this whole town in a couple of hours. So they're able to go out and do spot checking in between the three months, which has been very helpful. We find 2 or 3 each time they go out, call the customer, and you stop a leak that's gonna go on for 3 months.
Wow.
So that at least has improved a lot.
Right, and it does target indicate that, as soon as you read it, it would pop up, you
Yeah.
know,
Flags that whole.
flags that
Yeah.
account, and, you know, if it's even if it's a small volume, but a continuous leak for a long period, it will pick up on that and flag that,
Okay,
yeah.
We're getting there.
but only for people with water, not for people who are just.
They have a meter.
No, as long as you have a meter.
long as you have a
and
meter,
it's
'cause if
a
your well
radio
is
meter.
monitored.
Oh, because then
Yeah.
it's, your well is monitored, that's how we do the sewer, that's right.
Yeah.
If you don't have a meter, you don't have to worry about it.
Right,
Right.
At least
You
paying
do,
for it.
you probably
You pay for
do.
the flood in your basement
Right.
still.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's really about mitigating disaster, right? Like, because I've known several people in town who've had something like that happen when they've been away.
Yes.
Yeah.
We've seen, fortunately.
Yeah, even if your water doesn't freeze because of the temperature outside, if your furnace goes down, for instance, you could have boiler issues as well, and which then could lead to obviously other
Right.
issues. So it might not be directly related to water right away, but it could be indirectly impacting.
Yeah,
Yep.
it's all connected. Yeah.
So just to remind the public that voting day is March 11th, and our annual meeting will be here at the business office on March 13th. It's a Thursday, 6 PM.
Right. so-
And that we have one candidate filed
Yes.
for commissioner seat.
That'd be great.
There you go.
Right, so we have the election for the candidate coming up as well as the,
Annual meeting.
right.
The warrant is all local, is all at the public meeting, is all at the meeting. That's not gonna be voted on.
Well, it will be, actually will be voted on.
At the polls will
Yeah,
just be
yeah.
the
Yeah.
commissioner, and then all of the warrant
All
articles
the
be
warrant
voted on at
articles.
the meeting, annual
Yeah.
meeting. Yep.
All right,
So we're on page 2, and we already did Jason.
Yep.
right. So purchase recs, I'll read those.
We need a motion before.
Yeah, we can make a motion, if you would,
I'll make
please.
the motion to accept the purchase orders to
Second
the
that.
record.
I'll second that.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. So those POs are FW Web, $25, DeRozier's, well, actually, FW Web, $356.32, DeRozier's, $341, Clean Waters, $9,680. Sanitary Equipment Company,
Larger.
$399,542.50. We discussed that
So
last.
100% reimbursable by grant. yeah.
Yes, thank you.
Vector truck.
Right. CM Witcher, rubbish removal, $1,704. MSC Industrial Supply, $457.39. TI Sales, $1,582.32. EII, $650 for replacement power supply, and that is the last one. So with that, public comment. Anybody out there wishes to comment? Now's the time.
No, I'm fine.
Okay, thank you. Next meeting, as Kim mentioned, is March 13th, our annual meeting. It's an hour later at 6 PM, and it's here.
An hour later.
Yes.
When's you taking delivery of the machine?
It's probably a 6-month build time,
Oh, okay.
so it probably won't come until sometime August, September.
Well,
Great.
Well, unless there's anything else besides, I just have a few housekeeping signatures, but
Nope, I'm all set.
say at 5:20, we can call this meeting over.
wow.
Yep, motion adjourned. Okay.
Second.
All those in favor of
Aye.
adjourning?
Aye.
Aye.